Alright folks, how are we all? So, currently right now, I am on my way down to Dorset. When we went to the camping and caravanning show at the beginning of this year, we bought an awning. So I bought a brand new Fiamma awning. I personally couldn't be arsed fitting it myself, and it was the cheapest that I had seen advertised anywhere. Even at the show they were sort of £400 cheaper than anybody else, which was a bargain and free fitting. So yeah, chose Dorset. Not exactly close, it's about sort of 2.5 hours away, but use it as an excuse for a bimble, I suppose. So we have lots to see and do over the next couple of days, over the next 4 days rather. Lots of history, lots of spooky tales, lots of gorgeous scenery. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is like the first proper outing of me in the new van. Obviously we went to Norfolk for the weekend, but I think for me this is my first kind of solo outing. So yeah, it should be interesting. Looking forward to it. Stopping down at a little place called Dorset Springs tonight, which is just around the corner from the awning company. So not very far at all. So we're just on our way down there now. The M6, it's just naff, isn't it? On the A360, which goes right by the side of Stonehenge. But yeah, this whole area around here is just absolutely jam-packed with sort of human history, really. If I just swing the camera around, up in the distance up there, that's actually Stonehenge. But what I find kind of more intriguing is the whole landscape around here. It's just a hodgepodge of burial mounds. Just absolutely, as far as your eye can see. You can't quite pick it up on the camera, but as far as you can see around here, it's just full of Neolithic, Bronze Age, Iron Age, funerary burial mounds. So this whole landscape was massively important, sort of 3,000 years ago, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. It just goes back and back. I mean, who knows what the length of habitation is around here. It's just an amazing landscape, and the particular place where we're going now, Groveley Wood, has its own kind of local folklore attached to it, which we'll talk about when we get there. But there's also Grim's Ditch in there. There's also burial mounds. There's also World War II bunkers. There's just so much stuff around here, and I think what I'd like to do potentially is come up this way, stop somewhere and just go walking. Wandering through Groveley Woods. Now, Groveley Woods is an interesting place. I think just looking on OS Maps alone, there is 3 hill forts here, plus part of Grim's Ditch, plus some burial mounds, plus some other notable features, plus some World War II secret bomb storage places as well that I've kind of seen passing. I'm not entirely sure of the whole history of this place, but we'll be having a quick look at the Hansel sisters local folklore today. So we're just going to be wandering up around this road, and then I think we'll be turning off. far from them trees, I just happened upon another of the many fascinating things with this forest. So I am currently stood, and I'm not sure whether you can see it, but I am currently stood within the path of Grimm's Ditch. Now, it goes down there and up there, and you can quite clearly see it looking at it, and it kind of goes off and around that way, and it's also behind me. And this is one of them strange mysterios that our ancient ancestors left for us. Nobody really knows what it is. I mean, these things are these curses, these ditches, these type of things. They are much like kind of stone circles in that nobody really knows what they're for. They still create an air of mystery today. One of the thoughts, I think, is recorded on the National Trust's or English Heritage kind of sites and things, is that potentially they were for a boundary marker. Yet another little snippet of information is what I'm now walking on now. I believe is actually the route of a Roman road, which is just staggering to think that, you know, within such a short distance you've got so much history going on within such a short distance of each other, and this whole sort of road down here is just lined with beach. I'm having a wander down here because I believe that the tree with the markings on and everything is actually down this way. It is marked on Google Maps, actually. I believe there's old broken down homestead, a house or something located within this forest as well, but I think that's quite the other side of it. I think you'd need to spend a good day here just wandering around and having a look. There's always something quite, well for me anyway, comforting of being within the woodland, being in the greenery, in the open space and the birds chirping. I know some people can find them quite oppressive, but I've spent much of my kind of early years in many of the different woodlands in the UK, and my father used to work as a forester, so I was everywhere. I was in lots of woodlands. I was in places where people weren't even allowed to go. Just spending an entire day pottering around by myself. But there's no one around. I think there is somebody around somewhere because I seen a dog. Unless that's a bloody ghost dog. Border collie it was. So yeah, the other tree is somewhere down here. But there's so many magnificent beech trees, it's hard to kind of point to one and say that that's it. We have one of the Hansel sisters' trees. Absolutely humongous. And there are little offerings and devotives placed within the various parts of the trunk and the tree. Gnarled and twisted and broke. Some parts are dead, some parts are living. But it's fantastic that they've left this tree be in amongst all of this Well, they could have easily cut it down and used it for timber, but I'm assuming that the old folk tale and the local area sentiment has prevented them from doing it. Deep in the ancient heart of Wiltshire lies a woodland where the light struggles to break through the branches. Groveley Wood, a place older than memory, whispered about in village pubs and avoided after dusk. They call them the witches' trees, four gnarled beeches standing apart from the rest, twisted with age and something darker. Local legends say they mark the resting place of four sisters, accused of witchcraft in the 18th century, foreigners in a fearful land. The four Hansel sisters were of Danish origin, but they had moved to the Wilton area. At the same time, an outbreak of smallpox killed 132 people. The villagers became convinced that the sisters were responsible for the deaths and accused them of witchcraft and an alliance with the devil. Without an official hearing, the sisters were taken to Groveley Wood and murdered by being bludgeoned over the head, and buried a little way apart from each other so that they could not conspire against their murderers. There are four great gnarled beech trees associated with the sisters, because either the trees were planted to mark their graves, or they mysteriously grew on top of the unmarked graves to remind the locals of their dreadful deeds. So that was Groveley, not Groveley. Groveley Woods, and I'm just trying to figure out where we're going to go next, but unfortunately at the moment the signal isn't very good where I am, so I've got to actually wait for signal, but we'll update on the route. We were going to go to a place called Bottlebrush Down, which has a lot of kind of its own. I mean, there's absolutely there's loads there. Unfortunately, I can't get onto it. I've been looking for parking, and I was looking for parking in the week leading up to this. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like I can actually really park the van anywhere. The car park that I was hoping to park in actually has a height barrier in now, whereas it never did before. And then all of the roads that basically surround this area are just narrow, sort of single lane with passing places only. So there isn't really anywhere that I can stop and walk off from it easily, unfortunately. So we're off to Dorset Springs, where I'm camping for this evening. We're about half an hour away. There is a little farm shop around the corner, so maybe I can get into the farm shop before that closes. I don't really know whether it's worth it, but yeah, I'd be disappointed about that. I think there's been this move recently that kind of doesn't want camper vanners everywhere. Now I get the argument for that. I get the argument that it's, you know, they don't want camper vanners basically camping on land and what have you, and you know, some of these people are just bellends at the end of the day. They're not very good at all, but it seems like we're all targeted by that brush. So yeah, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to see if there is perhaps somewhere to park up when I get a proper look at the maps, and maybe we'll head back to it. We're not far away, we're half an hour away, so a couple of options for tomorrow. See which one we get to. Well, there we are. This is Dorset Springs. Very, very pretty. I think there is a few caravans over that side, but I'm literally on my toe, I think. Yeah, there's some caravans up there on the kind of the banking. Very nice. Right, I'm going to get set up. I believe there's free roaming chickens here as well. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea and then chill out. Well, that is pretty much me. It's about 9:30 now. I've eaten, I've chilled, I've read. And that's about me, I think. So, I think the plan tomorrow is to go and visit a church and ruins. But this is quite a unique one. I'm not going to go down to Bottlebush because I've had a look and I just cannot find anywhere to park other than parking in the RSPB reserve car park, which has a height barrier on for cars only. There's just nowhere to park and to walk in. Like even the little hamlets and the villages that surround it look like they have zero parking anyway. So I'm probably going to have to give that one a miss for now until I can figure out how to actually get onto it with the van, which is a bit of a bummer. But anyway, we'll do that. And we're going to go to Corfe Castle, and Corfe Castle is open at 10 a.m. So I am booked in to have my awning done at 1. So if I go down for Corfe for when it opens, spend about an hour or so ambling around. We're only about half an hour away, 20 minutes, so we're not far at all. So I've got a good few hours. There's a couple of places I can kind of see before this awning fitting tomorrow. I have no idea how long that's going to be yet. But we shall see. We shall see what tomorrow brings. So yeah, signing off for this evening, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.